Hello everyone, good evening. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, let's start with where we have left. So we were about to complete this continuity, and today we'll be discussing the very important question from continuity, like the questions which you may face in the exam. So the last category of continuity is in which the function, first of all, is not direct. Your function will be given like so first of all, what do we call these functions? So just a minute, guys. Yeah, I think everyone has joined, so we can start. Yeah, cool. So today we'll be discussing the questions in which a function is not defined with a single expression. Rather than that, a function will be defined with multiple expressions. So first of all, what do we call these expressions? What do we call these functions? So these functions are known as piecewise function. So let me give you a slight overview about the piecewise function first, and then we will start with the question. So like we have discussed this modulus function, right? Modulus function is also a piecewise function. So before starting the next discussion, let's discuss it for 2 minutes. What are piecewise functions? You already know about piecewise functions. You just don't know the name. I mean, maybe you also know the name, but if you don't know the name, if you don't know the name, then no need to worry because you already know the type of function. What do we mean by piecewise function? So piecewise function means a function will be defined with multiple expressions. For example, I'll tell you a simple example first. Let's say I have written this function. We have used this function in our previous examples. Let's say 2x cubed minus 3. So right now, fx is a single expression. Fx is represented by a single expression, and the expression is 2x cubed minus 3, right? So this is our simple function. Now, when I call a function piecewise, what does that mean is a function will be defined with multiple expressions. For example, let's talk about modulus function again. So we know what is modulus function. Modulus function was mod x, right? Right now, we can see that this is a simple function. But if we define modulus function, we know that modulus function is defined like this. Either the value will be x if x is greater than equal to 0, or either the value will be minus x if x is less than 0, right? Right now, there are two expressions for function. I mean, fx can take value x, and also fx can take value minus x. It depends what is the value of x, right? I'll give you another example. So this is a piecewise function. When a function is defined with multiple expressions, or more than two expressions, we can say that. Right? So this is known as piecewise function. A function is, we have, oh sorry, we have break the function into multiple expressions. So this is piecewise function. Okay. Let's take another example also. And with this example, also understand how to use piecewise functions. Okay. So let's say I have defined my fx like this. So this is x square minus 2 when x is greater than equal to 2. Then this is x when x is less than equal to 2, but greater than equal to 0. And then this is 1 minus x when x is less than 0. Now, this is also a piecewise function, first of all, because a function, this function fx is defined by 3 expressions right now. We have 3 different expressions for the function fx. And also understand what does we mean by these 3 expressions. So let's say I'm giving you a question right now. You will understand the method, or you will understand the logic behind these kind of functions. So you have to find out these 3 things here. Find first f minus 2, then f0, then f1, then f2, and f5. You have to find out all these values. First, I would love to check if you can find this out. So please start, everyone. Very easy, but you just need to know the concept. So I'll check whether you know this or not. Chalo, fatafat, start this quickly. We have 1 minute to solve all 5. I mean, we don't need more than 1 minute. You can send me your answers in the chat box. Okay. How are we finding out f minus 2? F minus 2 money, we have to replace x with minus 2, right? Now there are 3 expressions in which we can replace x with minus 2. But obviously, if you are replacing if you're replacing x with minus 2 in all the 3 expressions, then you will get 3 different answers, which is not the correct situation. We don't want to be in that situation that we are getting 3 answers and then we will choose this. What is the answer? What is the answer? So you have to understand in which expression we will put minus 2. And that will be defined by this condition. So we are saying if x is greater than equal to 2, if x has any value 2 or greater than equal to 2, then we will use this expression. This is the meaning of piecewise function. If we have any value of x from 0, and it can be also equal to 0 and less than 2, then we will use this expression to find out the function. And if we have any value of x less than 0, then we will use this expression, right? That is what piecewise function means. So if we are finding out f minus 2, then choose wisely which expression you need to use. Madhiha, to everyone. Oh, why? Just to me. Okay. Again, I think. Mostly the first answer is correct, and Madhiya, first answer is definitely incorrect. Very good, Madhiya. As you have sent all these answers to everyone, that's a good approach, because all the answers are incorrect, I guess. Yeah, first answer is correct, Austin. Then second will be correct. Third is okay. So you have, if Austin is correct, then Madhiya is definitely incorrect because all the 5 answers are different. Okay. करेक्ट है. Chavez and Austin both are same answers, so I guess both of you are correct. Okay, okay. Just one more thing. Let's say I'm changing this to this. Now, please send me the answers. Just for Austin and Chavez. Austin and Chavez, you were correct. Both of you were correct. Austin, you are correct. Good. You understood. Shahid, the first answer is incorrect. All others are correct. You must have done some calculation mistake. हाँ जी ठीक है. चलिए मेरे साथ समझिए जिसने भी क्वेश्चन सॉल्व नहीं किया है, because Austin has solved it, so I will be speaking in Hindi. यार देखो सिंपल सी बात है कि अगर हम पीस वाइज फंक्शन को डील कर रहे हैं तो पीस वाइज फंक्शन का मतलब ही है कि आपको इस कंडीशन पे बहुत ध्यान रखना है. What is this condition? This condition is basically telling you what is the expression of fx. As I told you earlier, if x is greater than equal to 2, yeah, शायद correct. If x is greater than equal to 2, तो मेरे लिए ये एक्सप्रेशन वैलिड है. तो फॉर एग्जांपल मैं अभी यहाँ पे f2 या f5 निकालना चाहता हूँ, राइट? तो f2 का मतलब है मेरे को x को 2 से रिप्लेस करना है और f5 का मतलब है मेरे को x को 5 से रिप्लेस करना है, राइट? है ना? f2 बोलूं या शाबाश करेक्ट. गुड, ठीक है. तो भी समझ गया मैं क्या बोल, मतलब मेरे को कुछ बस बात क्लियर करनी थी, बट ठीक है तुमने समझ ली. गुड. तो भाई लोग ये मेरे को जो भी वैल्यूज निकालने का है ना, यहाँ पे मैं ध्यान दूंगा कि मेरी x की क्या वैल्यू है. जो भी x की वैल्यू है उसी पर डिपेंड करते हुए मेरे को कोई एक्सप्रेशन चूज करने का है. तो लेट्स से आई एम फाइंडिंग आउट f-2. ओके, सो f-2 सेज दैट रिप्लेस x विद -2. Now I have 3 options to replace x with -2, but which one should I choose? That depends on the value of x and this condition. So if I am finding out f-2, that is I am replacing x with -2, so the value of x in this case is -2. अब x की वैल्यू अगर -2 है तो ये एक्सप्रेशन वैलिड होगा, ये वाला. Why? क्योंकि whenever x is less than 0, the value of fx is 1 minus x, right? And whenever x has any value from 0 to 2, including 0, excluding 2, then I will choose this expression for my calculation. And similarly, whenever I will have any value of x greater than equal to 2, then I will choose this expression to find out the value. So for let's say I need f-2. So to find out f-2, I will choose this expression, 1 minus -2. The value would be 3. Let's say I need to find out f0. Then I will check where x is 0. In this second equation, x is 0. Second equation says कि x की वैल्यू अगर 0 से 2 के बीच में है, इंक्लूडिंग 0, तो आपको ये एक्सप्रेशन चूज करना है. ओके, तो I'll choose this expression. I'll replace x with 0 in this. What is the value? Whatever is the value, the answer will be that, right? So if I need to find out f1, so I will have to replace x with 1. In that case, I will be choosing my second expression. So f1 will be 1 minus 1, that is 0. Now let's say I need to find out f2. So in f2, the value of x is 2. If the value of x is 2, then I'll be choosing this expression, x square minus 2. So this will become 2 square minus 2, which is 2. Now I need to find out f5. So if I'm finding out f5, basically I'm replacing x with 5. So which expression should I choose? The first one. क्योंकि यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है कि x की वैल्यू ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 2 है, तो आप ये चूज करेंगे. तो बस यही सिंपल सा कॉन्सेप्ट है. पीसवाइज फंक्शन में आपको ये ध्यान रखना है कि आपके x की क्या वैल्यू है. जो आपके x की वैल्यू है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन दैट यू विल बी चूजिंग योर एक्सप्रेशन. Is it clear to Faiza, Humamuddin, Madiha, Tharif, and yeah, all 4 of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about Faiza, Madhya, and Tarif?
Yes, sir. Clear.
ठीक है. सिंपल है, कोई ज्यादा बड़ी बात तो नहीं है ना, राइट? ओके ओके, कूल 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 कूल. नो मदिया, द मिस्टेक वाज नॉट जस्ट दैट. क्योंकि देख तेरे सारे आंसर्स गलत थे, तो अगर वही मिस्टेक होती तो सिर्फ 2 आंसर गलत होने चाहिए थे, क्योंकि F2 और F5 में ही हमें वो एक्सप्रेशन यूज करना था सिर्फ, है ना. बट तूने वो
Can you
सारे में
please
ही
repeat
एक्सप्रेशन मुझे लगता
once?
है. या
So what I did was I put those values in 2x cube minus 3.
अच्छा, ओके ओके, यू जस्ट यूज्ड
Yeah,
वन.
yeah, that's what
ओके
I did.
ओके ओके. This is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
ओके. चलो यार, बस यही छोटी सी बात थी बिफोर गोइंग फॉर the last variety of this continuity question. We need to understand what are piecewise function, and we need to understand how to find out the values of piecewise function. Why? Because this is the only catch, right? Now let's come to the question. Why did I say this is the only catch? You will understand. Yeah, Shaviz, please.
Can you scroll up?
Yes. मैं piecewise function की यार definition नहीं लिखी मैंने, मैं वो भी लिख देता हूँ.
No, sir, nothing, sir. You can scroll up.
एक सेकेंड. मैं आज तो क्लास हमने यहीं से स्टार्ट की है शायद. चलो then let's solve these last type of questions. And these type of questions have the highest probability to come in exam. So let's solve one or two questions. Find the points of discontinuity. The question is this. Find the points of discontinuity of f. F is a function, and you have been asked to find out all the points of discontinuity. Find all the points of discontinuity of f, where f is defined by Chavez, is it done?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So let's start with one of your NCERT question. So the question number 1, I'll be starting with fx is defined by 2 expressions, and the expressions are 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3, depending on the value of x. If x is less than equal to 2, then you will use this expression. And if x is greater than 2, then you will use this expression. And you have been asked to find out all the points of discontinuity. So first of all, see, we are not given at which point we need to find the discontinuity, right? And it will not be given in any of the questions where the function is piecewise. Whenever, listen to me again, whenever the function is piecewise, they won't give you the point that you need to find the discontinuity at. You will have to figure out yourself which point they are talking about. And it has a very simple approach. Wherever the function is breaking, now wherever the function is breaking, what does that mean? I'll simply tell you again. But wherever the function is breaking, you just need to take those points to check for the discontinuity. Now, where is the function breaking? For example, let's take this one first. Let's talk about this example first, where we have discussed our piecewise function first. So this function has 3 expressions. If this function has 3 expressions, then there must be 2 breaking points for this. What are the breaking points? See, this is the breaking point. If x is greater than equal to 2, the function is something different. And if x is less than equal to 2, the function is something different. So the first point where the function breaks is 2, x is equals to 2. And then second point is x is equals to 0. Because if x is greater than equal to 0, the value of function or the expression of function is different. And when x is less than 0, the function's expression is different. Right? So the number of expressions in which your function is defined, that will be a key point to discover how many breaking points of that function exist. If your function has 3 expressions, then there must be 2 breaking points. If your function has 6 expressions, then there will be 5 breaking points. Now, if they ask you what are all the points of discontinuity, then you just need to check those 5 points, those 5 breaking points. So in this example, when they have asked to find out all the point of discontinuity, there can only be 1 point of discontinuity, which can be 2. If that is, we are not sure about that. But if that is, then there is only 1 point of discontinuity, which is x is equals to 2 in this case, which can be a point of discontinuity, right? So we only check the point where the function break, because this is the only point of, see, why am I even saying that? You can understand that, because if x is greater than 2, the value of fx is 2x minus 3. And 2x minus 3 is what? A polynomial, linear polynomial. So for x greater than 2, 2x minus 3 is continuous everywhere. And similarly, for x less than equal to 2, 2x plus 3 is also a linear polynomial. So 2x plus 3 and 2x minus 3 in itself are continuous. Both of them are continuous in itself. But we just need to check whether they are continuous at x is equals to 2 or not. Because 2 पे function break हुआ. So 2 पे function break हुआ, it means that there can be a different LHL at 2 and can be a different RHL at 2. Because the function has different values. Right? So the only point of discontinuity that exists, that may exist, is x is equals to 2. Otherwise, there is no point of discontinuity. So whenever a piecewise function will be given, they won't tell you at which point you need to find the discontinuity. You can simply understand yourself that the breaking point can be the only point of discontinuity. Other than that, we don't have any point of discontinuity. Right? So in this case, we only have 1 point to check at, which is x is equals to 2. We will check the continuity of this function at x is equals to 2. Now, because we are solving first question, so let me solve it and you understand how are we finding out. So there is only one possibility, first of all.
Sir,
Yes.
so like from x is less than or equal to 2, so function will be continuous. After that, it will be breaking.
Yes, any value less than 2, any value of x less than 2, the function will be continuous. Similarly, any value greater than 2, the function will be continuous. But we need to check for 2. That we need to do. There is. There can only be 1 point of discontinuity, which is x is equals to 2. So you'll be checking the continuity of this function at x is equals to 2. So let's start with LHL. LHL at x is equals to 2. So if we talk about LHL at x is equals to 2, what do we need to do? We need to find out limit x tends to 2 negative, right? Fx. So I told you the only catch point is catch here is you need to understand which expression you need to use for LHL and RHL. So for example, right now we are talking about LHL, right? So LHL is x tends to 2 negative. Basically, there is some value which is just lesser than 2, right? Now you need to understand which expression you will be using in this case. Can you tell me which expression will be valid? What is the value of x here? X is 2
2x
negative.
plus 3. 2x
Yes,
plus 3.
2x plus 3. Correct. So the value of x here is 1.99999, something like that, right? And the value of x is 1.99. That suggests you have to use this expression, because whenever the value of x is less than or equal to 2, this expression will be valid. So what you will do is you will simply change. You'll first put this x tends to 2 negative, and in place of fx, you will be using the expression first. Expression should be 2x plus 3 because the value of x is lesser than 2, right? And this will be limit h tends to 0. You know what is 2 negative? 2 negative is 2 minus h. Just for your simplicity, I'm writing this. You don't need to write this in exam. But if you, in case you forgot, that is why I'm writing it. What does we mean by 2 negative? 2 negative means 2 minus h. So in the next step, I will write limit h tends to 0. In place of x, I will replace with 2 minus h. 2 into x means 2 into 2 minus h plus 3. Plus 3. Now you can put h0 directly. The value will be 7. This will be LHL at x is equals to 2. Now let's find out F2. Can you tell me how to find out the value F2? Which expression should I use?
2x plus 3.
Sorry. Which expression will we be using for finding out 2x plus, F2?
2x plus 3.
2x plus 3 again, because when x is equals to 2, this expression is valid, 2x plus 3. So F2 will be 2 into 2 plus 3, which would be again 7. This is my first. This is my second condition. Now I will be finding out RHL at x is equals to 2. RHL means 2 positive, right? So limit x tends to 2 positive. This time the value of x is just greater than 2, right? So limit x tends to 2 positive fx. Now, can you tell me what will be the expression this time? 2x minus 3, right?
Yes, sir.
Because the value of the function is 2x minus 3 when x is greater than equal to 2, and 2 positive is definitely greater than 2, right? So 2 positive, means 2, you have to use the expression 2x minus 3. And in the next step, 2 positive, you know what does we mean by 2 positive? 2 positive means 2 plus h. So you can change this. Two into 2 plus h minus 3. You can put your h directly. The answer will be 1. You can solve this. First of all, understand this and feel free to ask your question. You have 30 seconds. LHL, value of the function at given point, and RHL. The given point in this case is 2. I mean, the point wasn't given, but we have to understand what point it can be. The only point of discontinuity is where the function breaks. function breaks at x is equals to 2. So the point given is basically x is equals to 2. We have found out LHL at x is equals to 2, the value of function at x is equals to 2, and then RHL at x is equals to 2. After finding out all these three things, okay, before that, we need to understand what will be the expression for fx in all three different cases, LHL, RHL, and F2. Because the function is piecewise, so you will have to understand which expression needs to use in which case. And after using that expression correctly, there is nothing, I mean, there won't be much to do. Anji, now the final answer. Is the function continuous? Is there a point of discontinuity? Oh, ये ज्यादा टफ क्वेश्चन है क्या? मुझे लगता है टफ वाला पार्ट तो हमने कर लिया कवर गाइस. अभी तो इजी वाला पार्ट ही बचा है. Is the function continuous or not?
Sir, it's discontinuous at x is equal to 2.
Yes, the function is not continuous. There is a point of discontinuity. And the point of discontinuity is x is equals to 2. So from first, second, and third, we can see LHL, F2 are same, but RHL is not same. So from first, second, and third, LHL at x is equals to 2. Okay, I can also write it like this. And for the better understanding, like if I want to show I know what I am doing, then I can write it like this. X tends to 2 negative fx. This is LHL at x is equals to 2. This is value of the function at given point. They both are equal, but this is not equal to limit x tends to 2 positive fx. Right? So we can say that fx is discontinuous, or we can also write it as fx has one point of discontinuity which is x is equals to 2. Okay, write one more line here. As both the expressions given are polynomial. There can only be one point of discontinuity, that is x is equals to 2, as both the expressions given are polynomial. Now in your CBSE syllabus, every time they give you this piecewise function, they will generally use polynomials only. But when we come to JEE or any other competitive exam, then they can use multiple expressions, different expressions. In that case, you will have to identify yourself. I mean, in that case, there may be more than one point of discontinuity. This is whatever I am telling you, this is not for everyone. Okay. जो भी लोग प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स की, सिर्फ उनके लिए बोल रहा हूँ, क्योंकि देखो यहाँ पे तो हमारे पास पॉलिनोमियल्स गिवन था दोनों केसेस में. अब क्योंकि पॉलिनोमियल ही गिवन था दोनों केसेस में, ऑस्टिन यू डोंट नीड दिस, सो दैट इज व्हाई आई एम टेलिंग दिस इन हिंदी. ओके, बिकॉज यहाँ पे पॉलिनोमियल ही गिवन था देखो दोनों केसेस में, तो इसलिए मेरे को सिर्फ एक ही पॉइंट ऑफ डिसकंटिन्यूटी. बट ऐसा हो सकता है जेई में हमारे पास यहाँ पे ऐसे दे देते कि यहाँ पे दे दिया rather than 2x minus 3 they have given us greatest integer function of x. अब यार ग्रेटेस्ट इंटीजर फंक्शन ऑफ x तो खुद ही हर इंटीजर पर डिसकंटिन्यूअस है, वो हमने लास्ट क्लास में प्रूव भी किया था, है ना. तो इन दैट केस देयर में भी मोर देन वन पॉइंट ऑफ डिसकंटिन्यूटी. बट सीबीएसई बोर्ड में नहीं पूछेंगे वो कभी भी. सीबीएसई बोर्ड में वो आपको हमेशा पॉलिनोमियल्स के साथ ही खेलते रहेंगे और कुछ नहीं करना है उन्होंने. बट कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स में दे कैन चेंज दीज इक्वेशंस फ्रॉम पॉलिनोमियल टू अदर फंक्शंस. But for CBSE, we are safe. You don't need to check for other points. Ranji, is it done, everyone? If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask. बस यार यही variety है. This is the only variety that they have. I mean, they will give you a piecewise function and they won't tell you which point you need to find that discontinuity. You will simply assume that there are only points of discontinuity are these breaking points of function. Wherever the function breaks, take all those points, check the discontinuity at those points. The only difficulty level that they can increase is they can give you 3 expressions for fx. So in that case, your job will be doubled. How? Because you will have to check the 2 points of discontinuity. Like in this case, we only had 1 point of discontinuity. I mean, we only had one possibility, x is equals to 2. But let's say if I give you 3 expressions for fx, then in that case, there will be 2 breaking points of function, and you will have to check for 2 points, whether the function is continuous at these points or not, right? So that is another variety, or that is another difficulty level. And in some cases, what they can do is, chalo ye bhi baat kar lete hain. So there are 2 more variety to this. I mean, not variety. I'll only use the word variety because the concept is same. Concept is no different. Chalo, let's solve this. You guys solve this time. I'm forming a question myself, and then there will be one more question to it, and then we are done with this. Just a minute, guys, and my bad. Now see, there are 3 different expressions for fx. So we have 2. So we may have 2 points of discontinuity. Can you tell me what are the possibilities for discontinuities? Bus. I first want to know the possible point of discontinuity. What are the possible points of discontinuity in this case? Anyone? Correct. Austin and Shahid, both are correct. Good. I mean, there are only 2 points of discontinuity. I mean, there may be only 2 points of discontinuity. One is x1, x is equals to 1. क्योंकि देखो 2 जगह point function break हुआ है. एक हुआ x की value 1 पे, क्योंकि x greater than equal to 1 पे function कुछ अलग है, x less than 1 पे function कुछ अलग है ना? और दूसरा point of discontinuity हो सकता है x is equals to 0, क्योंकि 0 पे भी function break हुआ है ना? So there are only 2 possibilities of points of discontinuity. तारीफ नहीं, मैंने ये नहीं पूछा. मैंने पूछा कौन से पॉइंट ऑफ डिसकंटिन्यूटी हो सकते हैं. तो जहां पे फंक्शन ब्रेक हुआ है, देख वो पॉइंट्स ऑफ डिसकंटिन्यूटी हो सकते हैं. तो एक फंक्शन ब्रेक हुआ 1 पे, भाई 1 के बाद कुछ और वैल्यू है, 1 से पहले कुछ और वैल्यू है. एंड सिमिलरली एक फंक्शन ब्रेक हुआ 0 पे, 0 के बाद कुछ और वैल्यू है और 0 से पहले कुछ और वैल्यू है, राइट? सो देयर आर ओनली 2 पॉइंट्स, देयर मे बी ओनली 2 पॉइंट्स ऑफ डिसकंटिन्यूटी. पर इस बार हमारा काम डबल हो गया. इफ यू सी दिस, कि एक बार मेरे को 1 पे चेक करने का है और एक बार मेरे को 0 पे भी चेक करना पड़ेगा. To solve this, let's see if you get this or not, and then there will be the last question in which we will solve the last variety of these kind of questions only. Chalo, you have 2 minutes, guys. Please solve this quickly. You know all the process now. Whenever you get the answer for any one point, please share it. Okay. Don't wait for the second point. Oh my God. Who is iPhone 14 now? Oh, this must be a new student. Faiza, Madia, Tarif, Shahid, Chavez, all of you are here. Austin also is here. So who is this? Last time there was someone called Redmi, huh? This time iPhone. Wow, upgrade. Please, guys, everyone, keep solving because I'll have to talk to this iPhone 14. Hello, iPhone 14. Austin, the answer is correct. Pfizer, the answer is correct, but you will also need to check for 0. Hello, iPhone 14.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Can I know your name?
Prankit, sir.
Sorry.
Prankit.
Acha, Prankit.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Prankit. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Arey, wow, it's a unique name. Oh,
Thank you, sir.
Prankit, and is this your first class?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you are in the correct class, right? Maths.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Brian,
And
Brian, sir, right?
you are late.
Sorry, sir. It was some
I know it's
taking
okay
question.
because it's your first class, so that doesn't matter.
Yes, sir.
Shahid, answer correct. Good. Prankit, I have few questions for you. We have already given a question to the class, so I can talk to you right now. First
Yes.
of all, from where do you belong?
Dubai. No, correct. Original for India.
From where in India?
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Okay. Do you understand Hindi?
Sir.
Okay. Cool. And which topics have you covered in class 12th right now? Up to this point? iPhone 14 has gone. Anji, answer to correct. Yeah, Austin is correct. Shahid is correct. Faiza is also correct, but partially correct because you haven't checked for x is equals to 0 yet. But yes, you are correct. And what about Humam and Madhya and Tharif and Chavez? तो एक तो करो चेक अभी तक तो एक हो जाना चाहिए था गुड फाइजर करेक्ट है फाइजर वेयर आर यू फ्रॉम नहीं ऐसा कोई वो नहीं है मैं कोई रेसिस्ट नहीं हूँ भाई मैं तो ऐसे ही पूछता रहता हूँ ना तुम लोगों से बस आंसर तुम ये आज ही देना है आंसर ये जो बचे हुए 4 लोग हैं I guess you can rest. यार ये आंसर आज ही देना है. Humamuddin, Madhya, Tharif and Chavez. Did you solve it or not? Chavez solve हुआ ये? अच्छा मुझसे पूछ फिर प्रॉब्लम है तो मतलब either you will have to ask me or you'll have to answer me. Okay, it's okay, Mohammed. I'll solve it. And what about Madhya?
I got
Are you able to solve it?
so I got a bit confused as well. So
Okay. We got it. Sankrit, you will have to talk to me first before starting this. See here, there are parents, who are involved in the classes as well. It's not just we guys are involved. Uh, as long as it's up to us to, I mean, this is
Answer for that.
lighten up everyone's mood, but when it involves the parents, this is
हाँ सर सॉरी सर मजाक कर रहा था बस ऐसे ही मस्ती करने आया था
अच्छा,
प्लीज कंटिन्यू सर यू आर सो स्वीट सर थैंक यू सो लव यू सर मे गॉड ब्लेस यू
it's okay. हाँ जी, सबसे पहले तो मैं आपसे ये बताना चाहूंगा सभी लोगों से सी इतना टाइम तो यार इसमें लगाने का ही नहीं है मतलब ओके सॉरी वी डोंट नीड टू टेक this much time to solve this. Why? I mean, we have to write it in proper. But if you ask me whether it is continuous or discontinuous at x is equals to 1 and 0, I'll tell you how to check. Put directly this point. RHL at 1 and F1, both of this, I mean, RHL at x is equals to 1 and F1, both of the values will be solved using this expression. So put the value 1 directly here. As soon as you put 1 here, you will get answer 0. So RHL at 1 and F1. What I'm saying is, okay, चलो मैं एक बार solve करके दिखाता हूँ सबसे पहले. So we may have 2 points of discontinuity, right? One is x is equals to 0 and another is x is equals to 1. Right? So what we will be doing is, first we will be checking for x is equals to 1. Or maybe whatever you want to check. Let's check x is equals to 0 first. Right? So we will be finding out LHL at x is equals to 0. Right? Then F0 and then RHL at x is equals to 0. Right? Then check x is equals to 1. So what we will do? LHL at x is equals to 1. Then F1. And then RHL at x is equals to 1. Right? So what I'm telling you is, you can directly check this just for your own understanding. Put 1 here. If you put 1 here, the answer is 0. Then put 1 here. In this case, if you put 1 here, you will get answer 0. So see, RHL at 1, F1 and LHL at 1, all three will give you the answer 0. We will check this. Okay, we will be going to solve this thoroughly, but you will see that the answer we will get is 0 in all the 3 cases. Now let's check for 0. Put 0 here. So RHL at 0, F0, both will be defined from this expression. So if I put 0 here, I'll get answer 1. Right? Now put 0 here, because LHL at 0 will be defined from this expression. So the answer is 0. Now you can see the RHL and F0 both will be 1, and LHL at x is equals to 0 will be 0. That is why it is discontinuous at 0. Austin, did you get it? What did I just say?
Yes, sir.
We can simply check it by putting the values. We don't need to do all the hard work. तो सिंप्लिसिटी के लिए यार देखो हम ये चेक कर सकते हैं, बट हाँ इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि मैं सीबीएसई बोर्ड में ऐसे लिख के आ जाऊंगा. नो, आई वोंट गेट आंसर फॉर दिस. आई मीन आई वोंट गेट मार्क्स फॉर दिस, बट फॉर योर ओन अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस इज अ गुड मेथड टू चेक. सीधा सीधा हम चेक कर सकते हैं, कोई ज्यादा लोड नहीं है ना. ओके, जस्ट अ मिनट. आई होप यार this was a disturbance in the class. I can put it. I don't know why. How did it happen? Just a minute. I hope somebody is not named Mamta. Yeah. So we need to check for x is equals to 0 and x is equals to 1. But before that, we can, this is a shortcut. Just put your values directly in the given functions. You will get to know whether the function is continuous or discontinuous. Now let's check properly again. So there may be 2 points of discontinuity. Now let's check for x is equals to 0 first. If I check for x is equals to 0, so what I will be doing, I'll be finding out, okay, my bad. I'll be finding out LHL at x is equals to 0, which means limit x tends to 0 negative, right, fx. So I'll have to use the expression of the function which is valid when x is less than 0, because x is 0 negative, right? So if x is 0 negative, it means the expression valid is x. This will be valid. So LHL of x is equals to 0 will be finding, we will find out that LHL using this expression, right? So x tends to 0 negative, my bad. So then in the next step, I know what is 0 negative. 0 negative is 0 minus h, right? So I'll replace limit h tends to 0, and instead of x, I will use 0 minus h. I'll put h0 here. The answer is 0. And you can see The LHL at x is equals to 0 was 0. See, we have already found this out. Now let's come to F0. So for F0, we will be using this expression because when x is 0, we have, I mean, this expression is valid. So F0 is equals to 1 minus 0 square, which is again 1. We don't need to even solve for RHL. We don't even need to solve for RHL because from here only we get to know that F0 and limit extends to 0 negative fx. So LHL and F0 both are different. So we don't need to solve for RHL, but if you will solve, you will only get the answer 1, which we have already told you. So this will be limit extends to 0 positive, but we don't need to solve this, obviously. So this will be limit extends to 0 positive only. Now the value of x is just greater than 0. So the expression valid is this 1 minus x square. This is the expression, right? In the next step, what you will do is, you know what is 0 positive. 0 positive is 0 plus h. And 0 plus h is nothing but h. As soon as you put h is equals to 0, the answer is 1. From first, second, and third, you can easily observe that the function is discontinuous at x is equals to 0. Come again, LHL at x is equals to 1. So LHL at x is equals to 1 will be, okay, my bad. So this will be limit x tends to 1 negative fx. Mahmudin, did you understand this part?
Yes, sir.
Then we'll be going out for x is equals to 1 and similar steps will be followed. So this will become limit x tends to 1 negative. 1 negative माने x की value 1 से छोटी है. x की value 1 से छोटी है तो इसका मतलब कौन सा एक्सप्रेशन यूज करें, बताएगा मोहम्मदीन? आंसर करेगा इस क्वेश्चन को कि यहाँ पे fx का कौन सा एक्सप्रेशन यूज करना चाहिए इस केस में? x की वैल्यू 1 से थोड़ी छोटी है. तीन एक्सप्रेशन है हमारे पास, इन तीन में से कौन सा वैलिड होगा? 3x square minus 3, 1 minus x square या x? 1 minus x square, right? Next step में limit. Now I know that 1 negative माने 1 minus h, right? So this will turn to limit h tends to 0 and this will be 1 minus, in place of x I will write 1 minus h. And then f1, okay, will come to f1 also. So this becomes, put h is equals to 0, this becomes 1 minus 1 square, which is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. This is equation 4th. Now let's find out f1. f1 यानी कि x की वैल्यू 1. x की वैल्यू 1 तो ये एक्सप्रेशन वैलिड है ना, 3x square minus 3. So f1 will be 3 into 1 square minus 3. So f1 is 0. And you can even see these are the expressions which we have talked about. RHL and F1 both are 0. LHL at 1 is also 0. You can see that we have already got 2 answers and both of which are correct. So now RHL at x is equals to 1. So this will be limit x tends to 1 positive fx. Now in this case, again, the expression used is this because x is greater than 1. So this becomes limit h tends to 0. And in place of x, you will write 1 plus h. put h is equals to 0. So this becomes 3 into 1 square, which is again 1. 1 into 3 is 3. So this becomes 3 minus 3, which is 0. So from first, second, and third. Okay, first write this from fourth, fifth, and sixth. Fx is continuous at x is equals to 1. Right? And here we can write that from first, second, and third, right? From first, second, and third, limit x tends to 0 negative fx is not equal to f0, but f0 is equal to limit x tends to 0 positive fx. Sometimes it may be possible that all three of them are different. So we will use this is not equal to this and this is also not equal to this. But right now
Practically do
we
it.
have two expressions equal and one expression is different. Anji, do you get it? Everyone?
Like, sir, you have to solve this, right? Like, we cannot just
Sorry, Chavez.
these questions we cannot just think and solve, like to practically solve, right? This type of questions.
Practically, though, we can solve it like directly by putting the values. Right. Now, the last kind of question from this is, so what they can do is they can ask you, they'll give you a question. Okay, have you noted this down? If somebody's writing, then just raise your hand. Okay, so we can move further, right? So this is the last kind of questions in which you won't be given. This has very low probability, but yeah, this is the like last kind of question in which you will be given some information and you will use that information to find out some Sorry, why is this happening again and again? Yeah. So it is already given that fx is continuous at x is equals to 2. You need to find out the value of k. So if fx is continuous at x is equals to 2, it means that LHL at 2, F2 and RHL at 2, all three of them are equal. One of them or maybe two of them will include k, and then you will be finding out that k. Okay. Chalo, I'll make this tough for you. Now solve this. Find k if fx is continuous at x is equals to 2 and both the expressions contain k. Anji, the question is clear to everyone, right?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. This is one of the best question, I mean, which can come from continuity. We can also make it tougher, but I don't think you will need that. This is already up to the mark. I mean, this is already the tougher one. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, I'm gonna change this to x square, kx square plus 2. Now you will be able to solve this. Kx square plus 2. Yeah, you need to solve both the equations. Yes, Tarif, you need to solve both equations. I mean, find out RHL at x is equals to 2, F2 and LHL at x is equals to 2. First, find out the value of these. The values of these will be in terms of k. तो पहले ये find out करो फटाफट सभी लोग. I'll ask you what are the values. I mean, what are the answers for this? Then we will be able to find out the value of k. First, find out LHL at x is equals to 2. You know what is LHL? LHL is 2 negative in this case, and the function is fx. What will be the expression that is valid for fx in this case?
X minus k square.
X minus k square, correct. Now k is unknown here, right? So we will leave k as it is. We don't have anything for k. So in place of x, we will replace x with 2 negative. Now what is 2 negative? 2 minus h, right? Where h is 0, almost 0. So limit h tends to 0. In place of x, I will write 2 minus h minus k square. In the next step, I will replace h with 0, right? I will put the limits. So the answer is 2 minus k square for LHO. That is how we will be solving it. Now find out F2. This is easy. Tharif, how do we find out F2? Which expression should we use first of all? Is it kx square plus 2 or x minus k square? Which expression is valid for F2 when x is equals to 2?
Kx square plus 2.
The first one, right? Kx square plus 2.
Yes, sir.
So it will become k into 2 square plus 2. So F2 will be 4k plus 2, right? This is my second equation. Now third part. RHL at x is equals to 2. So this will be limit x tends to 2 positive fx. There may be a different value also. Was it? Yes, correct. Now it is correct. Good. Solve these and find out this value. What is the RHL at x is equals to 2 other than Austin? Can anyone tell me? You could have used the shortcut also. Put 2 directly in this case. मतलब जो भी 2 से बड़े वाले के लिए ये वैलिड है तो 2 इसमें पुट कर दो एक बार. इसमें 2 पुट करेंगे तो 4k + 2 बन रहा है. फिर इसमें 2 पुट कर दो, मतलब यही जहां पे ब्रेक हो रहा है. और अब सीधा सीधा कंपेयर कर दो. करेक्ट है फाइजा. गुड. Sorry, my bad. Nathari 4k + 2, not 2k + 2.
Oh,
Shaviz, एक और
I made
answer
a
आना
mistake.
चाहिए.
I didn't score.
The answer is correct, but partially. तो तरीफ जब हम यहाँ पे h को 0 पुट करेंगे तो ये 2 स्क्वायर रह जाएगा ना.
Yes, I didn't score. I made a mistake.
अब देखो सेकंड और थर्ड तो ऑलरेडी इक्वल है, फर्स्ट भी इक्वल होना चाहिए इनके. इफ यू आर सेइंग दैट fx is continuous, if fx is continuous at x is equals to 2,
Sir, is my answer correct?
it implies that answer of 1 should be equal to answer of 2 and answer of 3. Answer of 2 and answer of 3 is already equal. So you will say that 2 minus k square should be equal to 4k + 2. अब 2 से तो 2 कैंसिल हो गया यहाँ पे, है ना. तो ये बचता है, अगर आप इस माइनस के स्क्वायर को राइट हैंड साइड लेके जाते हो तो इधर बचेगा 0, उधर हो जाएगा प्लस के स्क्वायर प्लस के 4k. तो बेसिकली you need to solve this quadratic equation k square plus 4k is equals to 0, which can then be factorized if you take k common. Take k common, so it becomes k into k plus 4 is equals to 0. And there are two linear factors. One is k, so either k is 0 or k plus 4 is 0, right? If k is 0, then k is 0. What else we can do in this? If k plus 4 is 0, then k must be minus 4. So there are two answers to this. Either k is 0 or k is minus 4. Anji, is it clear to you now? These are we have covered all the varieties of continuity. There will be no question apart from these kind of questions. Now in the next class, we will be solving out differentiability. We'll be discussing about differentiability. But before that, I would like to know if you have any doubt, if you want to ask anything, please feel free to discuss with me. You have 5 minutes. अभी हमारे पास कुछ नहीं है 5 मिनट करने के लिए. We have covered almost, or not almost, we have covered all the varieties. We know how to find out continuity. If there is a piecewise function, then please remember we need to write fx correctly. This is the most common point of mistake, that we do not write the value or the expression of fx correctly in these cases. That is the only point of worry. Other than that, there is nothing fancy in this. But I'll tell you one thing. So I'm right now studying in a college, Indian Statistical Institute in India, which they conduct an exam for maths, and this is basically like almost similar to IIT Advanced question paper. I mean, a notch higher than advanced paper. So in that, I got a question from continuity and differentiability. And you know what did I mean, there was only one question wrong in the paper for me, and that was this question. And I mistakenly took the expression differently. The same mistake which I'm telling you, I have done this. So that is why I told you that there is nothing fancy here, but there is only one mistake. And this is very easy thing, you know. I mean, this is not a very big deal, but sometimes when we see that मैंने भी ऐसी पेपर में देखा कि बहुत ही इजी क्वेश्चन है तो क्या दे रहे हैं ऐसे I seriously I thought like that, what are they even asking, and I did it wrong.
So like, sir, for how much marks this question will come?
शाविस थोड़ा तेज बोल.
Sir, for how much marks this question will come?
4 marks.
Okay.
This will be for 4 marks. Not more than 4 marks. It can be possible that there is only 3 or 2. I mean, it depends on the question. If the question is like this, which we have solved in the last one, this one, तो ऐसे question इसमें 4 marks का होगा. And if the question is like much simpler, then this will only consist 2 marks. So there are only 2 possibilities, either 2 mark question or 4 mark question. 2 mark will be an easier one and 4 mark will be a tougher one. But most probably you won't get a question from this. This is my opinion, personal opinion. I'm not saying that this is definitely in the syllabus. Okay, they can definitely ask this, but this is just my personal opinion that I don't think they'll be going to ask you a tough question from this. Sorry, a simple question from this. So either you will get a 4 marks question or you won't get a question from this.
Sir, can you give?
So from the next class, the more important topic from this chapter, which is differentiability, differentiation, we will start with that. Also, I would encourage every one of you to study first principle of differentiation. It will be given in 11th book. You can check your NCERT 11th class, and first principle of differentiation will be given. I'll also discuss this within 5-10 minutes. I won't emphasize on that because we won't get a question from that, but yes, you need to know that concept. And then we will be studying about differentiation. So before that, chalo abhi to hamare paas hai hi 2-3 minutes. Before that, please raise your hand who knows about differentiation. Who knows how to differentiate a function? Please raise your hand. Okay. Only Shaviz? Madhya? Okay. And what about Austin, Faiza, and Umamuddin? Austin, you too have bio and physics. So physics mein you will be solving these questions from mechanics, no?
Yes, sir.
So how did you find velocity and dv by dt and I mean acceleration
basics I
in
know.
terms of velocity and things like that?
Yes, sir, the basics I know.
No, basics, yeah. I am only asking about basics.
All that,
Like,
yeah.
do you know how to differentiate x cube?
Yes, sir.
That is okay. Bas itna hi janna hai. That, I mean, that is all I need to know. And what about Humamuddin?
Not really.
इतना जानता है कि x cube का differentiation क्या है? ये पता है कि नहीं?
नहीं.
अच्छा, ठीक है. कोई नहीं यार, फिर पहले मेरे को I'll have to start with the very basic part because Humamuddin, yeah, you can raise, I mean, you can down your hands. So I need to start with the very basic part first because Tharif, what about Tharif? Tharif, ये
So I know
जानता है
the
x cube
basic.
का differentiation क्या है?
Yes, I know.
नहीं
Yes, I know.
ठीक है कोई नहीं. So we'll start with the very basic part first. Whoever knows about differentiation can also join after half an hour. आपकी choice है. बट हम पहले बिल्कुल बेसिक से स्टार्ट करेंगे कि कैसे हम डिफरेंशिएशन करते हैं, है ना, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी 2 बच्चे बोल चुके हैं कि हमें नहीं आता, तो इट्स ओके. विल स्टार्ट विद द वेरी बेसिक पार्ट फर्स्ट, हाउ टू डिफरेंशिएट. और मतलब बेसिकली हमें ना थरीफ और हुमामुद्दीन से मैं बता देता हूँ. कुछ नहीं, मैं बताऊंगा सब कुछ, कोई टेंशन नहीं है, बिल्कुल टेंशन लेने की तो कोई बात ही नहीं है. बट एक काम छोटा सा मेरे लिए करके आना पड़ेगा तुम्हें. सिर्फ बेसिक फॉर्मूले जो होते हैं ना, 10-15 फॉर्मूले दिए होंगे स्टार्टिंग में 11th की एनसीईआरटी में. सिर्फ वो फॉर्मूले लिख के ले आना. मैं नहीं कह रहा याद भी करके आओ, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, बस वो फॉर्मूले लिख के ले आना. मैं लिखूंगा भी क्लास में, मैं ये भी नहीं कह रहा, पर वो तुम्हें एक बार लिख के लाने हैं. मे बी 15 और 12 और 14, 10 to 15 फॉर्मूले होंगे 11th एनसीईआरटी में, वो सिर्फ लिख के लेके आने एक पेपर में. ओके. और मैंने लास्ट ईयर भी तुम लोगों से बोला था, देखो जब हम थरीफ कैन टेल अबाउट दिस, और तो मुझे लगता नहीं अभी कोई भी हमारे पास लास्ट ईयर से है स्टूडेंट, बट लास्ट ईयर आई टोल्ड एवरीवन टू राइट द फॉर्मूले फ्रॉम ट्रिग्नोमेट्री, है ना, क्योंकि यार ये सब चीजें ऐसी हैं, ऐसी हम लोग when we will go to this ना, क्या बोलते हैं, इंटीग्रेशन, तो आई टेल यू टू राइट ऑल द फॉर्मूले फॉर इंटीग्रेशन ऑन अ व्हाट सेंटर पेज. तो ये सब काम करने हैं. व्हेन आई से दिस यू हैव टू डू दिस, ओके, because there will be a lot of formulae involved in these chapters and you won't be able to remember all of them. I know that. Okay, I have also done 12th. I also know how to study. So I know definitely you won't be able to remember all of these formulae, and I don't expect you to remember all of these formulae all the time. Okay, so that is why you have to make a center page, and on that center page you will be writing all the formulae of differentiation first, and then we will make another center page when we will reach to integration. So that I mean, the more you write these formulae, there are more chances that you will remember them. Okay, so just write all these formulae and then we will start with the basic differentiation and then we will move forward. Okay, now before leaving the class, bhai, oi suno, what is this? Why did you guys leave the class before assessment test? You are not allowed to leave the class before assessment. Okay, I mean, we will have to reach out to your parents if you are not listening to us. So don't leave the class before assessment. And now there's one question. Please raise your hand. Whoever attempted the assessment test for continuity, just raise your hand. Wow. Okay. Oh, 3 of them. 3 of you have already attempted. Cool. If you have attempted the this assessment test for continuity, then you can leave the class. If you have not, then please stay in the class and attempt this test. Okay, now it is, and I will also suggest all 6 of you, Mahmuddin, Tharif and Madhya, it is just 10 to 15 minutes and you will be able to attempt it in a better way now, because you have already solved all of it. Okay, so please stay and attempt all the assessment tests. Okay. Sorry, not to you. No, you can leave the class then in today's class. I mean, you don't have any test today.
Thank you, sir.